Hello again, Rebecca here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to Hitting the Books YouTube hop. And today's hop is all about hitting the books. It could be school related. It could be just about anything. My son has graduated, so, he's like a working man and stuff. So I am doing the first day of my stepdaughter's sophomore year. So this is her going to, high school. Whoop, whoop. And I pull out my Echo Park Teacher's Pet 6x6 paper pad. And that Simple Stories, it's a wood grain, but on the back it's got that grid. And I'm going to use the grid, right? Who would have thunk that I would have chose the grid over the wood grain? So I'm going to cut up all these pattern papers that I pulled from the 6x6 paper pad since I don't have a kid in school. I mean, Whitney, but I don't really have a lot of pictures of her in school. I'm thinking like a young kid where you would be able to I don't know, when my kid was little, we could go to school. So I guess it's not a thing anymore, right? COVID ruined all that. So I'm going to try to use up as much of this paper pad as I can. And I'm going to mat my photo on the rulers and then this newsprint with school buses and everything on it, but I'm just kind of cutting it down. I'm going to take my pen and just kind of mark where I want to cut it and do some wonky layering behind my photo. And then we are going to come in and we're going to take those 6x6 pieces of paper and I'm going to cut them diagonal in half and then in half again, and we're going to create some fabulous little triangles on the page. Right now I'm just cutting them all down to 6x6. Probably could have cut most of this out. I do realize that. Oh, life is fun, huh? Sorry, I got sidetracked, so I have no idea what I was randomly talking about. But this school hop, Hitting the Books, I will have a link to all the lovelies that are playing along with it so we can see what they decided to go with, what Hitting the Books meant to them, because it could be interpreted a lot of different ways. It could be a layout about your favorite book, your book list. I mean, there's a lot of ways that you could, physically hitting a book. I don't know. I just went with a school layout. I do have another one of those, a school hop that's coming up. Which is with Sarah Scraps, which is the middle of the month, and I've got to figure out what I want to use for that, but I'm sure I can find a picture of someone in school, right? All right, so I've got these all done, and that is when I decide, well, they're too big. So now I'm going to cut them in half again, and I did not pause the video at all, you guys. I sat down and scrapped this and was done and didn't realize that usually I take breaks in between. Somebody aggravates me, somebody talks to me, the dog barks. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes on. So yeah, I didn't even realize that until this exact moment. So since I have a grid, I can actually line it up without a ruler. So I'm going to take all my little pieces here and I'm going to start layering them, and I'm going to layer 2 triangles on each other and just kind of make sure that I am pretty, relative, and I'm trying to figure, do I want to put it underneath or over top? And looks like we're going to go with over top, but I'm going to tell you I screwed up, and this one right here is why can't you get life, Becky? Why is life so hard for me? Seriously, because I'm nope, this was wrong. I do this 3 times until I get it. Seriously. It's sad. So sad. I was going, because I had my sewing machine out from earlier in the day when I was working on a different layout, and I was going to sew on it, but I decided to just grab my black pen because I got lazy. See, I'm nope, I still did that one wrong. Even after all of that, I still did it wrong. Do you guys struggle like that? Do you have times where no matter what you do, your brain just cannot compute? You can't, you're what? Why is that so hard? This was definitely one of those moments. Yes, one of those moments in life. So I finally figure it out, and I'm just making sure that I'm aligning them all up. getting them all down, and I'm just using adhesive. This does turn out to be somewhat of a flat layout, except for I'm going to come in with the Vicky Bouton, what's the name of it? Storyteller Collection, and I use up all the chipboard. I really thought that was a win for me. I struggle using Vicky Bouton stuff. I love it. I think it's beautiful. But then I'm like, I have no idea how to use it. And I love it. I love her stuff. I just don't know how to use it. So I do come in and basically, I feel like the layout needs something. Like I don't have a lot of school stuff to put on here, right? Like other than this, paper pad. So I'm like, well, this will work. So I take that ruler and I stick it down in the middle. And then I'm going to come in and look. I'm looking for some other like stripes or banners or something that I can add to this layout, right? Like it needs something. And that's when I'm like, all right, well, we'll do a couple rulers. And I fussy cut these out. I don't believe I even use them, to be honest. How sad is that? I know. It is sad. It is sad as sad as sad. But such is life. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere the photo right down to the middle there. And I have it all like wonky. And then I'm going to come in and I'm like, well, I'll use some foam tape. Well, the foam tape is like way too thick, but it's okay. This layout turns out, it's kind of a struggle here for a minute. But I just take all of these chipboard phrases, cut them in half, and lightly tuck it under each side of her picture so that the saying reads all the way across, right? In no particular like order, and I'm trying like to make them all different wonky levels. And this is when I'm like, well, just use foam tape. No, don't use foam tape. Foam tape was too thick. But it's fine. So I'm just going to add a little bit more adhesive to make sure that everything is stuck down nicely. And put just a tad bit more foam right here because it didn't work the first time. But yeah, it's going to work the second time. Totally fine. And then I just start taking all of the chipboard. And I literally used all the chipboard up. And I was kind of proud of that moment in my life. I was like, that works for me. I can definitely deal with this. This layout in the end turns out really fabulous. And I love it. 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 I just start tucking it all in because I'm like, you know what? Let's just use it. Let's just make this a fun little embellishment page. Plus, use up the stuff. This thing has been in my stash all year long. It's not like the longest, right? But I'm like, when am I ever really going to have an opportunity to use some of these things? And so, yeah, that's why I went for it. I just take these cute little bitty hearts. They're black with little gold hearts on them. And I put 3 down here at the bottom in a line, and then I'll put the other 2 that I didn't realize was on the other side on the top, just to kind of finish that off. Put these 3 gold stars, kind of in a little wonky pattern on the right-hand side of the page. And I'm even going to get this guy. Oh, I didn't realize that's off screen. That's sad. I make a little cluster down there at the bottom. I apologize that you cannot see it. But yeah, I even get the little hand on there. I just kind of stick it there like, hi. Get a couple moons on there and call this one done. Don't forget to check everybody else out that is playing along today. Give them some love. I also do a couple of sketchy lines. I will have all my links down below if you'd like to pick anything up. It is always greatly appreciated. And that is pretty much going to do it, I believe, for this layout. So I do write the date and that it's her first day of sophomore year, just because I feel like I wasn't there to take the picture, so I'm not 100% sure if I would remember it. Here's all the close-ups. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you tomorrow for another video. Bye.